feel that your message, apparent message of love that you brought back from Islam is the real reason they're after you, because you're not hating as hard as they want you to?
Well, I never did hate anybody hard. But I do know that when I wrote that letter saying that there were white people in Mecca, it shook up a lot of Muslims, because most of the Muslims who follow Mr. Muhammad absolutely believed that it was impossible, physically impossible, I should say divinely impossible, for a white person to go to Mecca. And my trip there shattered that image, or that misconcept.
Anyone call you directly, Malcolm?
Oh, I've been receiving calls ever since I left the Black Muslim movement.
And what sort of calls, Malcolm? You're disenchanted in view of the fact that these men who were your brothers are making threats against your life?
No, because actually it's not their fault. Most of them, now Joseph and the officials, they have a knowledge of what it's all about. But the rank and file Muslim brother does not know what it's all about. They are, out of religious sincerity, they think that they are doing the will of Allah by protecting a man who I myself taught them was divine. So I don't in any way fault them. But those who are over them and give the orders, and actually the ultimate order comes from Elijah Muhammad himself. As long as I represented the Black Muslim movement as an example of morality, unity, and militancy, as long as I could do that, I represented it. It was when I realized that it could not be represented as that I came on and started working among the non-Muslim Negroes, as I announced in January. And I had no intention, or rather March, and I had no intention of ever even speaking on this. Had they left me alone, you still wouldn't know what really took place.
Why are they threatening your life?
Well, primarily because they're afraid that I will tell the real reason that that I'm out of the Black Muslim movement, which I never told. I kept to myself. But the real reason is that Elijah Muhammad, the head of the movement, is the father of 8 children by 6 different teenage girls, 6 different teenage girls who were his private personal secretary. The one who first made me aware of this was Wallace Muhammad, Mr. Muhammad's son. And I had stated in a newspaper article about an effort to take my life back in January, and at that time the Muslims denied it. In fact, they tried to make it appear to my brother that I was insane. But on a program in Chicago called Hotline, that's moderated by Wesley South, John Ali, the national secretary, admitted, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, one of these days last week, that they absolutely were going to kill me.
What steps will you take to protect yourself from this threat?
I take no steps. I have a rifle. If anybody comes to my house without a good reason, I intend to try and use it, and that's all.
Right now?
No, I don't worry. I tell you, I'm a man who believed that I died 20 years ago, and I live like a man who is dead already. I have no fear whatsoever of anybody or anything.
Can't tell me that man ain't goated, bro. That's the GOAT, man. Welcome back to another episode of Throne Talk, a Black Revival production, brought to you by the good people at Overtime Studios. This is the place where kings and queens meet to discuss how we can get back on our feet. And today I have 2 very beautiful women with me, my 2 beautiful co-hosts. Say what's up to the people, y'all.
Hey, y'all. Hello, hello.
Yeah, that's Antoinette to my right. You know, that's OG Rowe. OJ, what was it again? I forgot. Ray JG, right across from me. And I am Monty. And today, we're gonna discuss a lot of heavy topics, things that have been going on in this country. Give our views, our opinions, and hopefully find some underlying truth in all of this. But before we get into that, how was everybody week? Everybody week was cool?
My week was cool. Considering.
Considering. I feel you. So what we finna delve into first, man? It's kind of everything we finna talk about kind of touchy for me. So where we want to start with?
Well, the most dynamic part of the week was the incident that happened this. Tell me what day it was.
Can't remember what day. I just remember it was. I think that was Monday. Wasn't it?
I believe it was too. I believe it was Monday.
Daggone shame, man.
Well, we know that we had another mass shooting.
It was Tuesday.
It was Tuesday.
Tuesday.
We had another mass shooting. Unfortunately, it was involving children again. And this is it's over 212 mass shootings that have occurred this year. And we're only in
the United States.
May. Yep. We're only in May. So, our condolences and our prayers and our thoughts go out to all of the families affected in these shootings, and then the shootings that happened a few years ago. We're still celebrating different anniversaries of the other shootings that have happened in the past. So, our thoughts and prayers are with the families and anybody else that was affected. I know there was something that was really heavy on us, especially because it was in a community like ours, you know, what would be considerably a minority community.
Most definitely.
And then we had the other shooting at the supermarket that was involving a bunch of our brothers and sisters. So,
not saying that one was worse than the other.
No.
You know what I'm saying? But that one kind of outraged me a little bit more, you know.
Yeah.
Because how the shooter got dealt with, you know, it always seemed like, I just like to do comparisons. And the one I like to always use is the Dylan Roof and Michael Brown. You know, somebody who never got to make it back home, and somebody who took the Burger King on his way to jail. One person killed multiple people in a place of worship. One dude was suspected of stealing some Swisher Sweets.
That's it.
So I mean, not to get off topic, because I do wanna talk about how we can protect children a little bit better in schools, at least. Like anywhere else in the world, I mean, yeah, things are subject to happen, but we living in a day and age now where kids really have to be prepared.
Definitely.
At all ages now.
Definitely.
Of not being able to feel safe in a school building.
Or anywhere. The store, anywhere.
You know what I'm saying?
Not even at home.
At the very least.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A kid should be able to feel safe at school. Especially elementary school kids, bro.
Exactly.
Like, school's supposed to be fun in elementary. You know what I'm saying? You still like school with elementary.
Babies.
You still love school. You still love and like everything, right? So, do y'all think it's anything we can do to protect children better in schools?
I say it's kind of hard to protect them in places where we are already supposed to, you know, feel that our children are safe. Like, the protocols that they have set up for things like this, like, I feel like, you know, we can try our best to implement better situations, but at the same time, it's like, what more can you do to protect them from stuff like this? Because, I mean, obviously people gonna find a way around it anyway, so what more can we do for real? Not saying that, like, you know, it don't hurt to try, but, you know, what else is there that we can do?
What you think? Because I just had a crazy thought, and it might be a conspiracy theory.
I don't know what there is that could be a solution to this. Like I gave when we talked earlier this week about how my school, at a certain time, it was shut down. And now this was high school, granted, but now we're talking about elementary school. So now elementary school has to be covered with more security, more than ever before, because it's not the first time that this has happened to an elementary school.
Right.
So, I mean, sadly enough, we have to discuss this, and we have to figure out ways when that's really not even supposed to be part of your job. Like, your job is supposed to be to be rest assured by these educators and by the principals and whoever else at the school that they would be safe. And unfortunately, they also, it wasn't just children that were killed. There were adults killed. There was an adult killed before he even went to the school. So it's just like a very tumultuous situation. I wish I could say there was some type of thought that you can give to prepare them.
I just be thinking, like, state troopers would literally just sit on the highway.
Yeah.
They literally just sit there and wait to pull people over. But you could be doing a much greater service. Like stopping by the different, municipal buildings in your area to make sure everything is cool, making your presence felt. But you want to stop and just sit on the highway and wait for motherfuckers who speed, who ain't got plates, all types of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then stuff like this happen. Now imagine if, like, somebody knew that state troopers or the police or just anybody was a regular presence at these places. How much less shit would happen? Possibly.
Yeah.
At least it'll be some type of deterrent. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand firefighters and I understand ambulance, right? Like, they can't show up until some shit happen. But the police, for as much as y'all be out in the public, y'all can prevent a lot of shit from happening.
Definitely.
With your presence, bro. Just fuck the police. But nah. So it's like, we done seen shootings at movies.
Yeah.
We done seen them, unfortunately, in schools.
Places of worship.
In churches.
Yep.
Supermarkets.
Yep.
So it's getting to the point where now it's like, where is it finna be safe? That's pretty much everywhere anybody go.
Yeah.
Concerts, we done seen them at concerts. We done bro, like.
The mall.
The mall? Bro, like, this shit is getting out of hand.
And you know what's crazy? Because we could make it this is broad right now, but we could narrow it down to a race thing, and then we could narrow it down to a police thing, but it's so crazy that it's literally happening everywhere, and it's out of control. It's completely out of control. And there's literally nobody, there's not one wrong person, because it's like, how do we get here? How do we get where we're so comfortable with people just, instead of back in the day, you would fight. If you had a problem, you would fight. You would talk about it. But now it's no fighting. It's if I talk to you wrong, or if we have some type of beef, that's it. It's kill to be killed.
The world too sensitive for shit nowadays.
Definitely.
The world hella sensitive. We be sensitive about the wrong shit though. Like, this is a time to be sensitive.
More than ever before.
You know what I'm saying? But in day to day, I was bullied, and some shit don't even be bullying, man. Some shit just be, bro, motherfuckers might not want to be your friend.
Exactly.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You just at the wrong
True.
school right now, bro. Or you ain't in enough programs, or whatever the fuck, bro. But people talking about they done got. Now, it is some severe cases of bullying.
It definitely
Don't
is.
get me wrong.
Yeah.
But like, some of this shit, motherfuckers not wanting to be their friend.
Okay, but in this case, no matter how severe the bullying was, what did these babies do?
Exactly, like
Right.
it
It was a total age gap from these kids, these children, and then this teenager. It was
he 18.
It's 18 or 17.
18 years old, and these are fourth graders.
Yeah.
He was able to buy.
And you know what's really
AR-15,
crazy? It's not even the fact that, I believe it was provided by like a family member, but at the end of the day, he was able to walk down the street with this firearm, and it wasn't a regular old handgun. This was
Exactly.
a firearm.
This is a military grade weapon.
Exactly. And I get it. They were like, oh, he, the place that he was in and the state that he's in, that's allowed. But at the end of the day, come on, he was a kid. at the end of the day, he was a teenager. He wasn't an adult. So how many officers did he walk past? What municipality did he cross through to be seen and spotted and not stopped? And I believe that was one of the things that during the press conference that they were really angry about. And it's to be expected when you could have prevented this. Even if it could have been severe but not as severe, you could have prevented something. You could have done something, So I definitely don't want to ever feel the way that these parents and these families feel ever. Not even with the supermarket shooting. And I just heard somebody say that the coverage is not even as much as the coverage we have on, Hollywood happenings. Like we heard about it, and it's kind of like settled down.
Yeah, I honestly didn't hear about it until like a couple days after it actually happened. Like, I didn't hear nothing about it until a few days later, and I was at work, and one of my coworkers had mentioned it, and I'm like, I ain't seen nothing.
Exactly.
I ain't gonna lie. I be avoiding shit like that.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I
somebody
hear
don't
about
watch
it.
the news.
I hear about it, and then I'll be like, okay, I might look into it for a little bit. But after a while, this shit just be depressing. So I just be like, I don't want to delve too deep into too much of the specifics of shit sometimes.
And sometimes it's a mind game thing, because sometimes they report things a specific way, so it can translate for it to replay again. And sometimes it's not that maybe that they're being exposed to it at home, but sometimes we're not monitoring these kids taking in on these computers, on these on the TV screens. It's just replaying it in their head, and all it takes is one seed, But I still think there are no bad children. They are just learned behaviors. Now, I do believe, because I see your wheels turning, that stuff can be inherited. There is some genes that like demonic stuff inherited, but I really believe that bad behavior is most of the time taught behavior.
Right.
And they adapt. They definitely adapt.
Lack of love, lack of proper guidance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And don't get me wrong, I was bullied as a child, a certain part of my childhood, and but I'm thinking, even if you let's be real. Before I even say what I'm about to say, I'm gonna go here. Whenever there is some type of crime like this that occurs,
there's nothing you can say to justify nothing like this.
Nothing, but it's always, if it's a specific color, then
there's a backstory
Speak
behind
on
it.
it.
there is a backstory. Oh, well, they were so
Speak on
great.
it.
We're not going to say that, they came from this. They're going to say first, well, he was such an upstanding, or she was such an upstanding citizen. They did all this community service. Their parents are great people. And, for some reason, they felt like they were just oppressed, and they were bullied and blah, blah, blah. But if we really want to be honest, like, come on, man. I done seen people would literally bump a person wrong or rob a person, and then you put their names out there instantly if they weren't that same race. You know what I'm saying? And before people get up in arms, the truth is the truth.
Truth is the truth. It's right there in your damn
We got
face.
people in jail right now for way less.
Way less.
For way less.
Way
So,
less.
and if we can get even more severe, Emmett Till was killed, okay, for whistling at a person. And it wasn't even him whistling at this person.
Come to find out it was a lie.
It wasn't even the truth. Like, come on, man.
And she's still living, and she didn't get, anything.
Exactly.
Like nothing happened to her.
So we got so much going on, and we got people that are in denial. And the first thing that we, as black people, I hear a lot of times is, well, we have to worry about us killing each other too. But we're not going out and committing mass murders against other races either.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, our problems within ourselves and within our own community, but we're not, you don't see us out here like that. And we, if nobody else, we've been bullied the most in these last 20, 30, 45, 75 years.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Facts.
like, we have to be realistic when it comes to these scenarios, you know.
And
What did the people at the supermarket have to do with,
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
how can you justify this? There's no justification to taking a life.
But you definitely know that they gonna find a way. It's always gonna be a way for, you know, people of non-color. So, but had it been one of us, had a young black male been walking down the street with that firearm, he would have been
wouldn't have
stopped.
made
He
it.
wouldn't even made it to the damn school. He probably wouldn't have made it 10 steps past the municipality that he walked past or whatever the hell. Like,
I mean, you see
he
how
would
they
have been
did.
gone for sure.
What was that old cop name? Chris Dorner. What that his name?
I think so, yeah.
They sent the whole damn LAPD to come get him.
Yep. But you got a kid, a child,
You know what I'm saying?
a child. The first thing I would have said is, what is this child doing with this firearm? Why is he walking in broad daylight in the middle of the day at school time? Why is he not in school? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
But the police, man, that shit. I feel like everybody who was a police officer feel the same way everybody else feel about their job.
yeah.
Don't nobody want to work. That's just something that they felt would have been better spent filling their time with. But like, I be at work, I know you be at work, I know you be at work, and the only thing you be thinking is, right, I can't wait to get out this motherfucker.
Literally.
Why the fuck am I here today, right?
I'm my
Like,
own boss. So I
You
can't
You know what I'm
say
saying? I feel, but it be some days where you be like, bro, fuck this
Yeah,
job
you be
shit.
like, man, I scheduled 2
So you
people, I
gotta
got to get out.
assume that they think the same way.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of the shit that I be seeing them let slide, like we all know the story how shit go in St. Louis, bro. They'll wait until the end of the month to start fucking with motherfuckers.
Or to
'Cause
write
now
the-
they
the
gotta
first
meet
one,
quotas.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We all know.
Which places to drive through, which places not to drive through, which places
Exactly.
you cool at, which
Which
places
places
you
to
not.
speed at.
You know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers be down there racing with the police downtown.
I done seen it.
You know what I'm saying?
I
And no
done seen it.
shit happen. As soon as you get on this side of the motherfucker, as soon as you get on the south side, you better not have your music too loud.
No. Yeah.
That's all.
It's just
Point stand. Fuck the police. Pretty much what I'm saying.
that he is not speaking for all of us. I have people I know that's in my family that are genuine people, and they are police officers, and they got the job because they were tired of police officers doing what they do towards us. Unfortunately, it's not enough of them, so it is what it is. But I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. You know,
My bad.
it's very unfortunate.
Are these people black?
Oh yeah, they're black.
I
It's
just
very
don't think that she would have brought him up.
Nah, I wouldn't have brought them up. My white family will not, definitely will not be coming, and that's no offense. But I'm going to say it's very unfortunate that in certain scenarios, if we call, you got to make sure that you don't sound like us. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure it sounds like you're out somewhere. I remember I had to call the police one time, and I'm not a person that calls. I hate calling. I will not. Whatever I can do to avoid it. But at this case, I needed ambulance and everybody there at one time. You know what I'm saying? And I needed an escort so that the ambulance wouldn't have no problem. So I called in, and I lie to y'all not, I called 5 times. I did not get an answer at all. So I kept getting a voicemail. And to me, that's just mundane. How do you get the voicemail
Damn.
to 911? And then the last time I called, I'm like, okay.
The number you have dialed does not have a voicemail
Right,
box.
okay, y'all forcing me. I ain't never called y'all before, so what's the problem? And I finally talked to somebody, and I'm like, hey, you know, I've been calling, you know, all this time. It's over an hour. This person could have died by now, you know. Oh, well, you know, where are you? They didn't even say what's the emergency, what's the address, blah, blah, blah. It took them another 2 hours to get where they needed to be. So because I know how to code switch like that instantly, you know what I'm saying? It would have been, oh, okay, ma'am, are you in an area that you feel unsafe in? You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't have been, oh, we're going to take our time. I've witnessed things like this happen to people I personally know. And just an instance I witnessed, one of my good friends, his grandmother had fell She hit her head on the concrete inside of their house. They had concrete floors. And he called the police. It took them 4 hours. He called the police and said, my grandmother is elderly. She's in her 90s. She has blood issues where she does, doesn't have good blood flow. So I need somebody here before she bleeds to death. I lie to you all night. He called and called and called. But as soon as he said, there's an officer in trouble, it was like they were literally around the corner, and they got there instantly. And instead of saying, because he kept yelling, my grandmother's in there possibly dying, they took him. Dude was like your height, 6 something. They took him in the air and slammed him on the ground in front of all of us. And it was 6 officers, and nobody went in the house. So it took one of us to run up and say, hey, y'all need to go in the house. Because the first 2 or 3 times he called, he said send an ambulance. So why is it that the officers came but the ambulance didn't show up? Because y'all thought it was an officer in trouble? Okay. So it's either that or you have to be a different race when you call 911. This is an issue. It's a major issue.
I might be wrong when I say this, but I don't think it's a such thing as a good cop. Let me tell you why. Because the police are in place to protect the Articles of Confederation. They're here to protect the laws. They're not really here to protect the people. They're here to make sure that whatever laws are in place are enforced and followed. So what happens when the people aren't protected by the laws? We see more times than not, they don't protect the people. They try to protect and uphold the law. So, like, morally, I feel like the only way to prove you a good cop is to quit the force. That's how I feel. Like, if you really want to prove to motherfuckers you a good police officer, you'll quit, and then you'll still do the job, just, under the guise of what's moral versus what's lawful. Because they not the same thing.
How do you do that job if you don't have that job?
I mean,
Are you saying neighborhood police? Neighborhood watch.
I mean, like, if you feel strongly about wanting to make sure that the people in your area are safe, then yeah, you would be a so-called neighborhood watch. You know what I mean?
But the crazy thing is, being a neighborhood watch, you don't have, like, if you act on whatever you need to act on to defend the neighborhood or defend the citizens that live over there, you're liable to get locked up.
True indeed.
So it's like you gotta have that to act on it.
But I think, like, you would have to be a person in the community and of the community.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, you would have to know everybody and not just the people who don't keep up no bullshit. Like, you would have to know the motherfuckers who be on bullshit as well. Definitely. And present yourself in a way to be like, okay, look, first off, I'm not police, so don't trip. I'm not going to call the police, so don't trip. But I do want to use whatever influence I have by being somebody in and of the community that people respect to help diffuse certain situations before they start.
I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? Other than that, like, you get paid by the government. Like, people be thinking, oh, I pay taxes and nah. Like, that don't mean you own the police, bro.
No, it doesn't at all.
You don't give them the orders.
Nope.
All your money is doing is getting siphoned. Like, it hit somebody else's hands first, and then they pay the police. The people that pay the police are the people who tell them what to do. Exactly. And the people that tell them what to do is the motherfucking laws and legislations. So fuck the police, bro. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand why people don't fuck with the police. Like, y'all protect, like I said, y'all protect the laws. And at one point in time, the law said that we was 3/5 of a man. Like, this is what you want to protect and uphold. the idea that these things came from, the minds that these things came from, these laws weren't made with us in mind. So at no point in history has police or government ever really fucked with us, bro.
I can agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? Not to get off the main topic.
I'm still neutral though, but
the children. You know what I'm saying? Fuck the police is the you know what I'm saying? It's the message I would get left there. What's up?
You know, I still want to go back to, because it could be a suggestion. Maybe if you feel, and this is your opinion. So maybe if you feel like it's somebody, if they can't be an officer, then maybe a call center. They should be able to be a dispatcher. But because we saw during the supermarket shooting, the dispatcher was called and she hung up on the lady. She whispered and she, went off, and then she hung up on her for whispering because she said she shouldn't have been whispering. And unfortunately, all she kept saying was, he's getting close. There's a mass shooter here. And it wasn't accepted as an emergency situation. So then we have that. We have the police. We have the dispatchers. We have non-emergency vehicles. It's so much to unravel and unwrap with this situation. It's ridiculous because we can't say the solution would be homeschooling everybody, because that's millions of dollars that eventually, from the black teachers and the black administrators to the white administrators and everybody else, everybody gonna be broke and everybody gonna be struggling trying to figure out how to make this work. So that was another reason why they put the kids back into school during the pandemic, is because schools kept taking the L with the money, Yeah. So it's just weird. It's just like really no solution.
So I mean, based off of that, right? Like what you just said, is it about the kids getting educated or is it about getting paid?
The money, right? I get what you're saying.
I think it's more so about the money and
right.
I would say in the long run, y'all know it's always about the money.
So the government is showing us, bro, that they don't give a fuck about people, bro.
In general,
all they give a fuck about is that dollar.
The mighty dollar.
That's known though.
So I mean, just imagine, right? Like, if everybody that gave a fuck about the government not giving a fuck stop giving a fuck. You following me? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if we just stopped one day? Like, what if we had our own, let's say we redid the quarantine on purpose.
Let's say
fuck it, I ain't going nowhere.
Black Wall Street.
I ain't paying no bills. I ain't doing shit.
Yeah.
And then let's see how they survive without motherfuckers giving a fuck. Since everything is about the dollar, what if we just stop giving a fuck about dollars?
And honestly, in the next between 2 to 4 years, it's gonna lose its value anyways.
I mean, it's over with.
It's gonna lose its value. You either gonna have gold or silver or something like that, but money will not have the same value. That's why there are so many people that are trying to buy into stock and different things like that. Because come on,
they finna move the world to the virtual shit.
Everything.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all niggas finna be playing real life video games with your life. And life is not a game, nigga.
It's so sad. Like, it really is. And yeah, one of the comments said that they suspended her. It's crazy because the cops, I watched the video and I think I sent it to you all with the guy a month ago, the guy that had his cap. He had a baseball cap in his hand. It was on his head at first. He kept saying, I'll take it off. Just let me take it off. That was his way of saying, I'm not who you're looking for. But instead of them letting him take it off, all he did was like this, and he said, I got it in my hand. And they said, well, put your hands up and get on the ground. Before he can get on the ground, he was dead. They shot him, 11 to 14 times? And you got stuff like this. You got the lady, the Latina lady, the grandmother. She was an Alzheimer's patient. First of all, she didn't speak a lick of English. So, she called in a panic saying whatever she was saying, and whoever the dispatcher was could have easily said, hey, she sounds irrational, she sounds, like she may need some help, a non-emergency vehicle. She had a knife because she was scared about something happening in her house, yet she was shot down. And this lady was 70 something years old. So we gotta stop saying, I hate to hear black people say, oh, well, black lives should matter to black lives, or colored lives should matter to colored people's lives, meaning all people of brown persuasion. That's not what we're talking about here. The bigger picture is you got people of authoritative jobs and things of that nature that are able to freely kill at will and easily say, well, I saw a gun.
And they never not gonna be able to. That's the fucked up part. Like, no
They
matter
never
what
not
we
gonna be able
do,
to.
they gonna always be able to kill at will. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's fucked up to say, but it's the truth. That's why these cases be going the way they be going, because they don't want cops to be afraid.
Yeah.
They don't want cops to be afraid to kill a motherfucker if they ever feel like they really have to.
And y'all know what killed me? Like, y'all know how we say Black Lives Matter, and they always talking about Blue Lives Matter. Like, they don't ever see the bigger picture of what we mean when we say Black Lives Matter. And it's always the response of Blue Lives Matter, but it's like y'all can accept them for who they are no matter what they do. No matter how many people they kill and innocent lives that they take, y'all always gonna stand with them. But y'all quick to, bat an eyelash and throw a fit when somebody of a minority just does, something like so simple, like, oh shit. It don't even matter. Like, it don't even matter what we do. We can never do anything right, and it's always, well, they should have been cooperating or whatever the hell. Like,
you they came up in a bad neighborhood.
Yeah, like.
And we've seen people
it don't matter
cooperate
like
with
our
the police.
backgrounds and stuff.
We've
They
seen
just
people.
yeah, it's hella people that do cooperate,
And still
or hella
get
people
killed.
that like people who know how the cops are and like fear for their lives and stuff like that, so they have no choice but to fall at the feet of the officer. So how do you justify them getting killed, or how do you justify and make it okay for the cops to do what they do to those people? Like, I don't understand how they can literally stand with the police no matter what they do.
Yeah, I always say I'm with you when you're right, but when you're wrong, I'm gone. Like, I have no sympathy for a person that will willingly take a life. I don't care if, what did you say this week? You said a life is not worth a life. Basically, like you can't justify taking a life by taking another one. The deal is done. The deed is done. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no rewinding. You can't go back. In these situations, you can't go back at all. And, like I said, we've been put away for less. And you got these officers or the security, depending on what state they're in, they're getting suspended.
With
Indefinitely. Pay. Some of them with pay, some of them without pay. But regardless, you're getting suspended. They're not getting fired. They're not facing jail time. The one set of officers that faced jail time was Floyd's killers. But granted, they were scared that we were going to start a race war when we're already in a subtle race war at this present moment.
Right.
Clearly we are. It's just a lot of people are in denial about it. And it takes for it to escalate even more than what it is right now for them to realize, hey, we're literally entering into something that's going to be detrimental to everybody.
Who would you say is losing?
It's very obvious who's losing. That's why they keep going after
You think
who's
so?
not.
You think so? So who you think losing though? I'm confused now. You just confused the hell out
The
of me.
ones who are losing are the ones who's going after everybody. That's the
ones who
opposite.
going after. You
You
still
don't see
confusing me.
You don't see us killing nobody, okay?
Right.
I'm a little slow
I
right
ain't
now,
trying to
right?
say it, but you don't see us out here
Right,
doing
so
it.
we
You
not
don't
the
see
ones doing it.
Yeah, so obviously somebody is feeling
They feel
a
threatened.
little way,
Yeah.
So
and
do
I
that
can't
mean
say
they losing, or
everybody-
do that mean they on the offense?
I feel like they may be losing. They feel like they losing. You got to think about how much we've increased with procreation. We have been having babies like
Okay.
wildfires.
But even and still with that, you still have to see how divided we are.
Definitely, but I don't think that's a matter of, you know,
I
it's
feel
I don't
like
think it's
it
a
is.
matter right now with them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because eventually, the thing about people that are of color, we eventually will find some type of way to agree on something, whether it be tragedy or something. You know, I've seen people that have opposite teams. You know, they're like, oh yeah, I'm a White Sox fan, or I'm a Cardinals fan, but let somebody of our persuasion go and say, oh, I'm a Cardinals. Well, they're the new player and they get a raise or something. They like, I'm so glad we got a raise and it's a new black Cardinals player. You know what I'm saying? So eventually we come around, but if we're not here,
But
nobody can come around to nothing.
But I mean, just hear me out, all right? There has to be some type of unity in order to truly realize like the strength that you have and that you possess. You know what I'm saying? Like if you look at just throughout history, how us not being unified enough, but being unified on something, we were still able to get, you know, like certain programs and certain groups were able to get dismantled, even in unity. Like you see what they did to, you see what they did to the Black Panther Party.
Yeah.
Now that was unity. I feel like that was us being unified at our finest. But
I feel like Black Wall Street was us being unified at our finest. I always bring it up because I feel like I've always wanted, it was one of my dreams to rebirth Black Wall Street for us.
I mean,
It was
I
just
feel
a
you on
greater, it was a community, you know?
I feel you on that. I lean more towards Black Panthers because these were people who were seemingly prepared. But even with the Black Panthers, Black Wall Street, we've all seen like at whatever we consider to be our best, we were able to be dismantled with any type of unity.
Yeah.
So it's like with what everybody believe and what everybody think, we not as brilliant as we think we are. We not as smart as we think we are if we able to keep getting outsmarted. And so with everybody steady dividing themselves and we not really getting no true knowledge about some shit, we gonna keep getting dismantled.
Well, I think that kind of the source of that is, what was it, a couple episodes ago? I think that was my second episode with the crew when you said you have to be willing to die
Yeah.
for what you believe. Like you
Facts.
gotta be willing, and I think a lot of people are willing to roll over before they die for it.
Facts.
And that's why we get dismantled more than anything. We are, even in movies, you see, we are portrayed as, if we're cast in a movie, we could be the best friend, we could be the partner, as far as a cop. And guess what? The black person is always portrayed to be the one that'll switch. It's never.
What you mean? Switch.
Like, say you and I, or the three of us was in a movie together. You could have been our enemy, but we came together. Eventually, you could say, oh, I'm going to blow your head off if you don't shoot her first. Well, they are always, for some reason, we're always portrayed as, oh, I'll kill her before I let myself die. Or I'll take this, I'll rob her before I let somebody rob me. You know what I'm saying? And that's always been a mechanism to deter the unity in us. And I think it's one of the greatest downfalls in our community. The whole thing of, if you don't have a certain amount of money, you gotta rob your people to get your money, or you gotta, you know what I'm saying? It makes no sense to me.
But it's true. Like that's the fucked up
It's
part.
so true.
Like
yeah.
we do the job for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To the point where they just sit like shit. The shit that's going on now, they knew was gonna happen 40 years ago, 80 years ago. They knew this is what it was gonna look like today. And every time somebody sprouted up, had the right idea, had the right intentions, but didn't have enough of the unity. Like, it's easy to paint a group out to look like, you know what I'm saying, they too radical. Or it's easy to never tell somebody's story like they did. You know what I'm saying? Like they did with Black Wall Street. They don't tell their story.
No.
So like they can hide shit and they can paint shit out to look away. But just imagine if we was all on one accord. You can't get rid of a whole race.
No, you cannot.
So I get what people be saying when they say black lives should matter to black people. I get why people say that in our community as the answer to, you know what I'm saying? Well, the police, because it's like, I feel like when you have a certain level of self-respect, you feel more inclined to not let people treat you a certain way.
Exactly.
Or do you a certain way, right? Like, take y'all two, for instance, right? Y'all are two very self-respecting women. So y'all not gonna let somebody just talk to y'all any type of way or say anything to y'all out the way as a way to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess, like, flirt with y'all or some shit, right? Mm-hmm. But it's some women who are very, you know, that's not like y'all.
Yeah.
That you, hey, what's up, bitch? And shit, no, like, just as an example. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when we kill each other, when we hurt each other, when we do these things to each other, it's not about how other people look at us. It's about when I see you, I don't see myself.
Yeah, exactly.
And so since I don't see myself in you, how can we be a community? And since we not a community, and it's like, oh well, they not a people. Fuck them. Look at how they do. Look at how they do themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
And secretly, that's how they justify the shit that they do. They'll never get on TV and say the shit, but when they by themselves,
yeah, definitely.
I heard somebody say one time that, like, when it's a group of white people together, right? Mm-hmm. If they say something racist and don't nobody say nothing, it's assumed that since nobody said anything, everybody agree.
Exactly.
They might not never say it, but since they didn't, you know, like, everybody agree.
Yep.
So all it takes is for one. And then, you know, you seen how Trump got in that motherfucking went on head, you know, said all the shit he was saying, doing all the shit he was doing. I ain't gonna lie. Me personally, I fuck with Trump.
I do too.
I fuck with dude. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with dude. Right? He funny as hell.
Yeah.
Nah, he funny as hell.
Dude was funny as hell.
He was a character.
Since I done been an adult, he the only president that never paid me. So I can't be mad at him. I fuck with dude.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
You know, and I think that's the other thing. I used to hate to hear it because I would always say, you know, like, stop harboring on the past. But our history plays a lot in our current situation. And if we ignore our history or the lack thereof of knowledge, you know, the lack of knowledge thereof of our history, this stuff is going to keep replaying. We got people that died to vote. And we have people nowadays that won't vote. But then we have somebody we'll fight about that later. But we have somebody in the White House right now that a lot of people voted for because of what they portrayed it was. And now look at where we are. We are way worse. I mean, listen, it's crazy because everybody wanted to say, "Oh, Trump was woo wah wham." My justification was always, look, I'd rather my enemy show me that they're my enemy or that they're halfway somewhere with me than for somebody to play friends with me. And then I find out down the line, like, oh, and I was always questioning in the back of my mind, do you stand for me? Do you stand with me? And then boom, you show me later.
The president definitely, anybody in government stands to protect them Articles of Confederation. They stand to protect them 33 amendments. That's it. Anything outside of that, bro, they don't fuck with you. they don't fuck with you. If
Right,
it ain't
you know,
about
that's
them
me
laws,
saying
they
that.
do not fuck with you. Especially the motherfucking president, man. Especially the president.
And you know what? That includes y'all favorite, the Golden Boy,
Yeah, man.
Mr.
I
Obama,
ain't-
Mr.
and look,
Barack Obama.
Do you know how many niggas hated me during his? Because this is one. So like, real quick, bro. I don't vote. I never have. Never will.
We're gonna drag you to a poll one day.
Hell nah.
If you could go to a different type of poll,
the
you could
re-
definitely go to that poll. Okay.
The reason why the reason why I don't vote is because let me ask y'all a hypothetical question, right? And when I ask y'all gonna be like, bro, what the fuck?
Come with it.
Would you rather like have AIDS or have HIV?
Right, like he
I'd rather
know.
have HIV because HIV/AIDS is full blown. If you really know the history between having the two or having one, you know that one is worse than the other. I am clean, you guys.
I would rather have, but that's why I don't vote.
You have to ask a question like that, but you have to give a realistic question. Don't
I
say
don't-
you'd rather
I
have
don't-
neither one of them because
I wouldn't. I would rather have neither one.
But you didn't give that as an option.
Okay,
I'm
okay,
just
okay,
saying,
okay,
it wasn't
okay,
an
right,
option,
right,
so you
right,
have to
But
pick
I'm
one of
saying
the
like
two.
that's when you decide that you're gonna be a voter, right? In my mind, that's what it's like. Okay, am I
So you
picking
fuck either
AIDS
way.
or am I picking HIV?
That's how you see it.
That's how I
get
see
that.
voting.
I get that, but at the end of the day, we pick a lot of stuff because of black people. So honestly, I would say because you know that there are some people that won't do the research. I never vote on anything. I don't care if it's a school situation. I don't care what it is. I have to do research. I'm gonna find out who you have me voting for, what this amendment is, what is this, what is that. Like, what are we doing here? Because if you just say, oh, well, she told me, Nat told me that this is da 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 da, and you go off of that, guess
Say,
what?
Nat
You
don't
up
even know that nigga.
exactly, and then you up a creek because maybe she gave you half of what she wanted to tell you, and you just went and voted for something you have no
Dumb
clue
as
of.
fuck.
And I say this, and I stand on this,
Stand
and
on
I don't care who got a problem with it. You can meet
Exact-
me wherever you want to meet me at.
Meet
Drop your
us.
location.
Oh, she said me us.
Me
I gotta
us.
wait.
Me
To,
us.
I'm waiting to
period.
see what she say
'Cause I'm a
first.
Christian, but I will.
waiting-
I will lay hands on you.
I'm waiting
real
to see
quick.
what you say first.
I
Go
got her
ahead.
back regardless though. So
When it comes down to people saying that Trump didn't look out for this, that, and the other, I'm gonna say this: he made a dynamic change for us as a whole, and then as the country. But when Obama came in there, solely
No, I stand with
who
you.
he helped,
I stand with you.
and who he
Yeah.
solely went for
Yeah.
was the community, the ABC community. That
She
was
called
number
them,
one.
The
Okay.
LMNOP, motherfucker.
it's not the alphabet
ABCD LMNOP community, and I have nothing against anyone of their persuasion or that community. But I will say this:
Neither do I.
you can never equate them and their struggle to a black person's struggle, to a person that is supposedly a minority. Because I don't believe anything in saying, "Oh, minorities and majority." That's non-existent to me. You know what I'm saying? Because that just means you're belittling yourself just as well as they are. So you're gonna keep allowing them to call you that and represent you as a minority. But that's what he changed. Every law that was changed while he was in office was solely based upon the progression of that community. So now we have so many laws where places of worship have been under scrutiny more than ever before. School has been having to teach about stuff our children should never be exposed to.
Literally.
We got there has been a lawsuit, an open lawsuit, just in case nobody knows, for the educational system for Missouri, where they've been suing, the teachers have been suing the educational system of Missouri. You got you a stress ball.
Yeah, nah.
They have been suing them because they have tried to force them to teach about racism and sexism and sexist and how homosexuality, this, that, and the other. The teachers are saying that they are forbidding themselves to teach about this because
And
they
I feel
said
them on that.
there's no way you're going to force us to expose these children to something that they are children. I always say, stay out of a child's business. We tell kids to stay out of the grown folks' business, stay in the child's place. We got to stay out of kids' business,
Facts.
Like, we can't keep trying to force a situation that's not a natural thing. They put Obama back in there for a second term, and look what hell we're living in now because he progressed it. And it's so crazy because people will always be like, oh, so y'all really not gonna vote for Barack? Oh, y'all really go? First of all, let me say this.
I was outcasted.
And I hope I ruffle a couple of feathers. But when the man said that he needed a birth certificate for this man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I literally was like, you know what? He might be on
Produce the birth
he might
certificate.
be on to something, because number one, we were taught in school about this man without even knowing who he was. We were taught about him. I had one instructor that took her time to teach us about what to look for, what his description would be, what he would look like, you know, where he would come from, and he fit the exact same thing she taught us.
Are you talking about that?
We ain't even gonna get into it, but yeah.
I was just trying to make sure I was following.
That, and then she said, she even went back and said, our people will vote for somebody that is totally against us just because he looks like one of us.
Yeah.
You know, and it's so crazy, because if you don't do your research and you out here doing whatever you doing because of these people are black, you'll be up a creek all your life.
Facts.
And that's really what's really going on, you know. And if y'all be honest,
because everybody black ain't righteous, bro.
listen, everybody that say that, well, everybody that speaks the word and everybody that claims his name is not of his name. They
Facts.
are not of the word. They
Facts.
just know how to manipulate it to make it sound good.
Facts.
And so, you know, when we say politically, if we compare the two, we say Trump and Obama.
I'll say you neither.
But I'm gonna say
you
this:
know.
you got the World Health Organization. Just in case y'all didn't know, and I meant to
Who?
throw this out there. The
No, I'm
World
just
Health
playing.
Organization,
Yeah.
what makes mandatory decisions on vaccinations
Who?
and stuff like that.
I'll just play. Go ahead.
You got Trump. He went in there as a business owner. Now that's
Mm-hmm.
the one thing I can respect. He's been a business owner. Now he might have been a little shiesty, but he's been a business owner majority of his life.
Got to be in the
So
word of
he
business.
ran it just as a business, you know. But when it came to the World Health Organizations, and y'all got to research this, everybody have to research this, that he made it where we would not be, it would not be a mandate from them. Like every state would be able to run their own their own cities. Well, this man here in the office right now just changed it. So we are mandated under the World Health Organization to be obligated to whatever choices they make. We have to do it. Meaning there's chips coming, there's new vaccinations coming.
Talk about it.
You got new things that are required for driver's licenses, but not required for gun licenses. Like you got so much that is about to change. And number one, we are not the state that we have to have a license to carry. But I hear it all the time when people be like, "Oh yeah, you black, so you got to make sure you still got something on you so you can show proof that you can carry your gun."
Touch somebody and say we living in the last days.
The last and evil days, okay. But people are in
I
denial
always
because
wanted to say that, bro.
So
it's so crazy that we are so bogged down with everything else, and it's ridiculous. It's just.
Yeah, I just helped me live out one of my childhood dreams, bro. I didn't always wanted to say that, bro. I'm sorry.
You want to preach so bad.
I'm sorry.
y'all.
I always wanted to say that, bro.
He wants somebody to be like, come on, preacher.
On me. No, facts. Hey,
Come
look,
on,
speaking of which, bro, like, just imagine, right, like, because I know, like, a lot of the reason why people who detest church, one of the reasons that they bring up is because, you know, the pastor be doing too much hooping and hollering and shit, which, granted, motherfucker do. But just
That's not every church though.
No, you're right. It's not every church.
Not every
It's
church.
not every. It's the stereotypical preacher.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But just like this shit do be motivational sometimes. So like, just imagine, right? If it was a preacher who was getting it, he was finna get in his bag, right? He was about to be elbow deep in that motherfucker. You heard me? You about to put both feet in this bag. You heard me? Just imagine if he did it over the Down for My Niggas instrumental. How much more hype that motherfucking church would be, bro.
We would definitely be playing the edited version of that.
No, just the instrumental, like not the words, just the beat, and he getting in his motherfucking
you-
bag over that motherfucker, bro.
Like, he the only motherfucker that can think of stuff like that.
Literally
Like,
the only person that'll think of something like that.
Cause that's the church I would attend. I'm never stepping foot in
I'm gonna
another
tell you
church again,
something.
but I would go for
I
that,
know a
bruh.
few churches that would definitely use that.
And that's what I'm saying. Y'all can go ahead and
I
take my
know.
idea. You know, get y'all members back. You feel me? Go ahead.
But I think that was another thing. You have
Mm-hmm.
so many people. They went off of.
I thought these was gonna get in your bags. So let me
I
go
thought
ahead.
about it, but no. They, when Trump was having his little whatever he was doing, spazzing out all over the place, talking to. Let me say this. He kept saying.
China.
He kept saying, but black people, what do you have to lose?
It's the
You
hell.
That's some real
and
nigga shit,
it
bruh.
was literally like, what do
real
you
nigga
have
shit.
to lose? Vote them back in. Might as well. It wasn't like, we were in a deficit like we are in now. The gas prices were better. He like, come on.
I'm talking about
we
my
were out of
budget
debt.
is
We were
$60.
out of debt with another 2 or 3 countries. Now we are further in debt than we've ever been.
I just spent
We are-
$70 at the fuck tank trying to fill my shit up, bruh.
No, for real
Listen,
though. For
listen.
real.
Trump
At
got
this
my
point,
shit down to
$60.
$30.
No way.
And barely 30, because you
Barely 30,
you
bro. I'm
literally
just
can
rounding
drive
up
all
and shit.
week.
Nigga.
And then the other thing
$70
is
damn dollars, bro.
we're in debt with different oil companies. So
Man.
some of our gas is watered down. So that's another reason why we are taking an L with these gas prices. But they're actually working on putting a cap on the prices so they can't be raised in the next few months any higher. So if they stop at $4.75, that's it, or $4.30, that's it. They'll be right there, and they'll have to figure out how to lower them.
Cuz gotta see me.
Period.
That's
Speaking
it.
on what you just said
I wish my
about
granddaddy was still alive. Tell my granddaddy to whoop his ass.
the gas being watered down, I literally just saw a lady speaking on, like, when is the last time you pump gas and smell gas?
Listen,
Like,
because I hardly.
Whoa.
I'm
That's
like,
the
damn.
only place I pump gas and I smell gas is Phillips 66.
I go to
Not a lot of
BP.
y'all not.
I go to
or
BP,
That's
yeah.
it. If I go to Quick Trip and that's
I was just gonna say,
I don't fuck
I
with
be
Quick
going to Quick Trip, and
you're not really supposed to name drop, but let me tell
I
y'all
don't
something. If
fuck
y'all
Quick
going to
Trip.
Quick
Fuck
Trip,
that.
I don't fuck with Circle K's.
it literally does not coat your tank. It goes straight through the tank, and
Yeah.
gas is supposed to coat the tank. So that way, if you run on E,
You can
trash
get a
does
look,
not come up
you
in
know
your
what I'm
tank.
saying?
But a lot of people don't know that either. So you
On
got
me.
people
On
spending
me.
$30-$40 at Quick Trip,
Wasting their motherfucking
Okay.
time.
wasting your time and money.
Just so they can get a glizzy. Well,
I
I'm
be
here. I
going
might as
for
well
the
get some
ice.
gas. Yeah. Or the ice.
I like the
Yeah,
ice.
Look at y'all. Look at y'all.
But after a while, I couldn't even take the ice because right before Biden got in, there was something going on with the water. Now it's something again going on with the water, but it
Definitely.
was something going on with the Quick Trip water supply, and so a lot of the ice was contaminated. The ices, the ice, everything that was in their fountain was contaminated.
Oh, yeah, I seen that shit.
So now we have this whole ordeal where Trump is coming back to run again.
yeah. My nigga. Nah.
But the thing of it all is, will he come back with the same stance he left with,
He
or
said
will he come
gave
back
y'all
with a
ass
vengeance?
a chance at first.
Right, he gave
y'all
us a
didn't take
chance.
that chance. Now he finna fuck y'all up.
That's it. That's all. And I can't even be mad at him because at the end of the day, like I said, he got us out of debt. He got us from obligations to deal with Russia, deal with China. He got
China.
us out of all these obligations just for us to vote for somebody because they put in a lady that supposedly is supposed to be one of us, which we do it all the time. It's like a happy-go-lucky thing where we're like, oh, we're making it. We're going to be there. But
Like,
if-
she don't give a fuck about us.
you don't even see this lady, number one.
Literally.
Number two is if you go back and do research, you can find videos of her saying that she wasn't even black, But I'm just saying.
Speak on it.
So
Touch somebody and say
instead of
confusion.
confusion. And God is not the author of confusion, point blank, period.
Amen.
It definitely
Speak on
says
it.
that in the word.
Speak on it.
But if you don't know your word, then there you are, lost with everybody else. So,
Go ahead,
But-
Pastor.
Preach.
They be like, come on.
What they say? Young nigga, preach.
Take your time. Take your time.
Seriously, we just really you gotta really own in on what you got going on in your
facts.
country, because there are things that are being done up under our noses right at this very moment, and if you don't peep it, it'll affect you later and it'll bust you upside your head, like literally. We got they just overturned a couple of other things, a couple other laws, but the new law that everybody fighting about, the abortion law.
Oh shit.
Oh my God! Like,
Now this here is just been brutal, okay? But just to think how much we would have missed if nobody peeped what was really going on. You know what I'm saying? Then you got part of the whole span of fighting the abortion law is they're saying that they're not allowing other people to use contraceptives unless they are married. Now, why would you tell me that my husband and myself cannot use contraceptives? We are able to use contraceptives, but you got everybody else not able to use.
which makes no fucking sense at all.
That is
Like,
so
they got this
backwards.
That's
motherfucking
backwards,
monkeypox
very
out here,
much
okay?
backwards.
Listen,
coming out
they
with
got
new
some
shit
of
every week,
everything
bro.
out here. And this is what you prefer to do? You prefer to have high records of AIDS and HIV, gonorrhea, and all these new diseases that we're coming up with now. And it's crazy because
Super AIDS.
black people don't think this stuff is going to affect us. Super AIDS, literally, okay?
Super
Because
AIDS,
back in the
bruh.
day when I was a kid, I could see people, and I knew people, we knew who in the family and who in the
Magic
friends, who
Johnson.
in the neighborhood had AIDS, and they outlived a lot of people.
Magic Johnson. This nigga.
They-
Nigga healthy as fuck, right?
But
Getting
you know, he
stronger
don't-
every
he
time I
don't
see
have
his
no
ass.
more. That's the thing. Like, then there was a no cure for AIDS. It's a whole cure out
yeah, it's
here.
a
Been
cure
out
for
here
this
for
shit.
over 32 years, maybe now.
Yeah.
And so you got so much that
Can
is
I-
happening right up under us.
Can I say something about one thing about this nigga Obama? When you don't fuck with politics, like during that time, people thought that if you ain't fuck with politics, that meant you ain't fuck with Obama.
Yeah,
And if you don't fuck with Obama, then that mean you don't fuck with black people.
exactly.
And it's like, no, nigga, I don't fuck with politics. I can't change that just because it's a nigga in this motherfucker, bro. Like, if I vote now, I go back on everything I done said, bro. I'm never voting. The reason why I didn't vote originally was because I'm like, that's the only way they can really get you for jury duty. And I could never see myself, like,
And the crazy thing is,
judging
it's not.
They can get you in another way.
Definitely, most definitely.
They
I was
can.
gonna say,
Yes.
my mom. I believe my mom has never voted, and she had to do jury duty. So
It's
Oh,
the census. When you get counted,
I
in
don't
the
do that either.
census, trust me, you getting counted.
getting
You just don't
counted,
know
right.
it. 'Cause I used to work for the Census Bureau.
Oh shit! This was, she know she seen my name on them damn things.
she was like,
I
"Oh,
quit, y'all.
Mr.
I ain't
Leonard."
even
Oh,
gonna
I
tell
know
you
that
my
nigga.
But it was crazy because even in school they used to always use the paraphrase or the phrase that you want to get something over on black people,
Put it in
the
the book. Yeah.
Make it where they have to read it. And nowadays it's make it where they have to read it, and it's something that's educationally worded, like it's not used with ebonics or the common way of language. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Facts.
I don't believe that as an American citizen and a black person that you should live in America and not know another language other than English. Number
See.
one, we have so
He couldn't wait. He couldn't wait for
he's
his
so
chance.
thirsty to use C.
No, I'm just saying.
It's so many different resources and so many different communities that are literally linked up to us. That
I know. No, I know Spanish for real.
I do too.
Oh yeah.
I was waiting on something else though.
What?
But it, you
Quiero
know,
Taco Bell? My bad. No. Go. No, because you on a roll. You on a roll.
it's
on a
just
roll.
we got to be self-aware, and then we
Nah,
have to be
facts.
aware of what's needed. And like we teach all these other things. We talked about the prom and everything like that. How many of these graduates know another language? How many of these graduates? Because I know some people that graduated in my year
Technically,
that didn't know how to do half of the stuff that was required to
Can I-
graduate, and they graduated.
can I be real with you? This not
Shout
me
out to
trying to be
y'all.
funny. Technically, every black person does know 2 languages, bro. They know how to speak around black people, and they know how to speak around
That's
white
called
people,
code
bro.
switching. We talking
Nah.
about literal
Code
language.
switching is a fancy way to say fake, bro.
That's not called faking, because I could tell you
That's fake, bro.
right now. I'm,
That's fake,
as
bro.
much as I
To
talk
me,
proper on
to
here,
me.
I could turn it up a notch if I'm selling one of my businesses.
I mean,
And that's
But,
just
like,
an appropriate way.
So let me ask you a question. Why the way you speak around your niggas can't get the same thing done?
I'm gonna say this. I don't change how because I talk proper here.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you a real
Okay, it's
properly
just something-
speaking motherfucker.
Yeah, it's just something that's a natural thing for me. But I'll say that. Okay, I'm gonna use this example. When I was younger, I used to always hear, as a black person, if you work with a bunch of upstanding people that have more money than you, and they're your bosses, they have the ability to give you a raise. Never show them your best. Never show them that you got a BMW at home. Never show them that you living in a 3-story mansion. But if you go there and you can talk as intelligent as you can, you might be able to win them over first and then dominate whatever that community is. Dominate whatever that job role and position is. And so that's the way I'm like, as long as my name has been in places that I'll never be in. My company may be in there, but my name has been in places I'll never be in. You know what I'm saying? And we ruin a lot of things by our speech. Because some people just don't know. They're not that intelligent. And that's not to say they're not smart, but they're not equipped with some of the knowledge that we have. Book smarts or biblical smarts or anything like that. They don't really know. They don't know how to listen to hear and not listen to understand what they want to say in response without getting the whole story,
Right.
you know?
I feel you. To me, it's weird because it's like, and maybe this is just my stance on shit, but I don't like feeling like I be assimilating.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanna feel like whether or not I gotta stay in this country or whatever, I can still feel like we're in this land. Me and my people are still our own nation. You feel me? So like that shit to me is like it's subliminally keeping them in your mind in a state of power. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
To me. That's to me. Not that I'm racist or no shit like that. Like, you know, I love Justin.
Right. We love you, Justin.
I ain't racist, man. I don't know, man. I just think like what could possibly be doper than being black, bro? You feel me?
Well,
like,
a lot of people feel like that. That's
what
why they
could-
try to be black.
You know what I'm saying? What could possibly be better?
He put his shades on when you said
Cool ass.
yeah, you know, right.
And he was like,
Cool ass.
No, what were you saying? You know, I feel like, just like when people would say, you can't trust people with tattoos and piercings. I've been told you can't speak the word with piercings. Somebody even came to me. They were talking about somebody else, and they were saying, "Oh yeah, she's tattooed from every orifice of her body, like from her head to her toe." And she was like, "Oh, when you get to heaven, what is God gonna say?" And I was like, "You tell me. What do you think he gonna
On
say?"
me. Cause did he tell you and not me?
Because clearly we might be reading a different translation of what we think is the word.
Can I ask you something real quick? What you think about women pastors?
Hey, I'm down for it.
Ooh.
Now listen, a lot of people are still up in arms about female preachers, but back in the day we used to be taught that if they wanted to be a pastor, they wanted to be dominant, and they would probably they did not like men. But we see nowadays it's not true. It's not necessarily that. There were
Go ahead.
first female pastor was in the Bible, but
Who?
a lot of people don't
Who?
know that she was a preacher.
Who?
Rather, we gonna get on that in a minute because
Maybe I
just
just want to know.
I've been meaning to call you out on that a couple.
Before call you out on what,
weeks,
man?
and,
Call me out on
and
what?
send you the scripture with the person that I'm talking about.
Who?
Deborah.
Who?
Deborah. Do your research
Deborah
before
was
you
not
answer
no-
me.
Deborah
Yes, she
was-
definitely was.
she
She was
was
one
a-
of the first people,
She was a prophetess.
and she was a preacher as well.
She wasn't no preacher, man.
She was definitely a preacher.
I'm gonna have to go read
He
that
was
shit
he
one
played
more
he
time.
gave her the word before he gave most of them the word.
I'm gonna have to
we
go
gotta
read
go
this.
and
I'm gonna have to go
research
read
it.
this shit one more time.
We gon'
man.
look,
I'm
we gonna
read
go
this
and do
shit
Bible
one-
study this week.
I'm gonna
Everybody
read
gonna
this
be
shit
on there
one-
so we can.
Because then, like,
How you feel about him? Because I feel like you feel some type of way.
I feel like, and I'll have to find the scripture,
Okay.
but it says, I think it was Paul.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember which. I know it was Paul. I'm trying to remember which book it was, where he said that women weren't supposed to be preaching.
That was before though.
That was before.
That was before a lot of stuff got overturned.
What you mean?
A lot of stuff.
Like
was-
what got? What you mean got
so
overturned?
So when I say that, I mean we know that Jesus came to fulfill the law, and he came to give a way. He came through love. I'll say that.
Mm.
But there was condemnation before he came, right? Because the law condemned a lot. Whereas to when he came, he was flipping over tables. The law would have said that he had no right to do that, you know, and a lot of other things. So when we say what they said, that's kind of what made them different from who he was. You know what I'm saying?
But
They,
like,
because
my thing with that is, like, Christ followed the commandments as well. He said that any man who doesn't follow the commandments, you know what I'm saying?
but that's not one of the commandments
What you mean?
that women can't preach.
It's not a commandment.
Exactly.
That is not a commandment.
And it wasn't just 12 disciples. He had women following him as well.
Yeah.
So
But they only speak about the 12 for a reason.
yeah, and that was only, but as we said before, a lot of things were not put in the Bible.
A lot of things
We were
weren't.
not
You're right.
allowed and allotted to know a lot of things. So,
True indeed.
and that's another,
True
I
indeed.
believe
True
another
indeed.
reason why we weren't is because a lot of times when people have too much knowledge, they forget that there is a God. They forget that they do need more. You know, you can
Mm.
never know enough. And when people think they know enough, they just become unstoppable and in the worst way.
Unstoppable.
We're gonna deal with that later too. But you know, it's just I really believe
So,
that.
let me ask you this, right? Just let me ask you this real quick. Do
Wait,
you-
before you say
Go
what you
ahead,
gotta say,
go
it's
ahead.
some women that could preach some of these dudes up. I mean, some of these men up under a pew, and that's all I got to say. But go ahead.
But do you think, like, that it's proper for a woman to be presiding
Like a presiding bishop or something.
over a multitude of men?
There's not.
Like, what would you think about a whole group of men following a woman
Are you
as
saying?
they,
Listen,
as they teacher and preacher?
I believe in female pastors and preachers, but I will say this: there is no one church that have only one sex there. So
No, I'm saying, like, as a group, like, if you just see men following and getting they lessons and they learning everything they can from this female in any sect, not just like religion, like just anything, like presidency, or
you know what?
do you think that a woman should have the authority to preside over a group with men in it?
I got an answer.
With men in it. Let me say that.
I got an answer, but I got this. Men have this complex, and it's not necessarily a bad complex. It's not a negative thing. But men have this I can fix it complex. Whereas to sometimes they already have the solution. Y'all got the solution already. You know, I've heard people say men will fight and get it over with and be friends later. If they are, you know, friends, and then women, they'll hold it for years and fester on it. Which now we got men that are a little
You and
too
what's the name
feminine.
still beef? No, I'm just playing.
You beefing with some? Oh,
Nah,
you
I
so
just- I just-
messy.
I just- no, I just- that's a joke.
Look,
That's
I
a
done
joke. That's a
jumped
joke.
into it,
That's a
like-
joke. That was a
Joking.
joke. That
None
was a
of these
joke.
bitches
That
are-
was, oh my god, bro. Anyway,
Don't let
go
him take
ahead.
you out of your element.
It
But
was just a joke, bro.
But so and you have women that are actually we go meditate on it, we go pray on it, we go, you know, and we don't automatically have that answer. We literally let whatever it is translate first, and then we go through the process. So I believe that there are some I do agree that there are some situations where, yes, if she's called to do it, you know, but some people have to know what they're called for, and that's when you have to know whose you are, to know who you are and what you are meant to do. But there are a lot of male preachers and a lot of female preachers that they are not supposed to be
Ain't
preaching.
shit.
They're not supposed to be pastoring. I'll say that, because just because you can preach don't mean you should be pastoring. And just
Exactly.
because you can pastor don't mean you can preach.
Exactly.
Just because you prophesy don't mean you should say everything that God shows you. So it's just, you got to know who you are and whose you are and what he called you to do. That's flat out.
I feel that.
Because you can get distracted and discouraged easily if you don't, you know.
I feel that.
But I know, well, I know if you, when you come up with around a lot of things and you get, I think some of us have been too exposed to a lot of the background, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have been in it and we've seen the details where other people didn't see, that it kind of tarnishes you, your feeling towards church and stuff like that. But it's definitely something that as a Christian you should, you know, incorporate
I'm
in
not
your
a
life.
Christian.
And it's okay. I caught that a long time
I'm
ago.
not a Christian, you know what I'm saying?
But if you believe in the word,
I'd most definitely.
I'm about to
do
start
that.
preaching. If
Go
you
ahead,
believe
go
in the
ahead,
word,
Go ahead.
and you are of the word, and you obey the word,
Speak on it.
that is something that should be incorporated some type of way into what your daily practices are,
Most
your
definitely.
daily worship practices are.
Most
So, but everybody ain't called to do what they're doing right now. A lot of people got itching ears and itching throats, and they want to use them. And whatever way you translate that, that's it. That's all.
Oh no, man. I personally feel like, you know, shouldn't be no women preaching.
And that's
Shouldn't
okay.
be no women being pastors.
If I was a pastor, you wouldn't come to my church and visit?
Hell no. It's like, is it a sermon going on? Is
Golly, right.
is it a-
if I was
is
a
it a-
pastor
is it
and
a-
I had to
He
preach that
insisted,
Sunday,
hell
would
no.
you come?
Nah. Well, one, I don't go to church on Sunday, so I
Okay,
don't
if
believe
I-
in Sunday
so-
worship.
Saturday.
You know what I'm saying?
Saturday is the
Ooh,
Sabbath, actually.
yeah.
You're not supposed to, it's the day of rest, and you're not supposed to work until after the
Yeah.
sundown. So,
You know, why is it that y'all bring that up? And this man, I just had to snap on this old man because never mind.
I can see you.
I mean,
Her spirit was
because-
stirred
come
completely
on,
wrong.
her ear started turning
Because
red. That
first
motherfucker
off,
mad as
okay, so
hell.
if he say if this man said call him tomorrow, right? Which he said this yesterday, so today would be tomorrow. If he said call him tomorrow, what do y'all take that as? Like, you know, you're available, correct or incorrect. You said call you tomorrow. You didn't give me a time. You said call tomorrow. This man gonna text me and say,
Didn't I tell you to call me?
no, he sat there and said, today is Saturday. Common sense would tell you to call early. First off, you did not say call you early in the morning. You said call you tomorrow, so that's you're available. It's like 3 o'clock, you know, when you got to call.
You
or
can't
whatever.
make a broad statement like that and then not expect somebody to.
And I said you didn't say that, and he was basically saying like, you know, he don't work on Saturdays or whatever. But like, if you told me to call you today, then if you don't work on Saturday, why would you even give me the option to call you today? Like, he's on some people. He don't even make no sense, but he just basically saying like people relax and short time in Bible is say rest on Sabbath. Like, then you should have told me to call you on Monday. You should have just told me to call you on
Or
Monday.
if you're going by the Sabbath, that mean whatever time the afternoon is it.
Yeah.
You know, that's the other thing. People always want to utilize the word. They want to manipulate the word to cultivate whatever they want to do
I just got mad.
What you mean?
towards me. People always do that. It's one of my biggest pet peeves for people to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna treat you like this because the word says, but you're manipulating the word. That's not what it says. Just because you choose to translate it that way for someone else to understand it the way you want them to understand, that's not what it says. You know, that's almost like taking and adding to it because it's your opinion. But it's one of my biggest pet peeves. And if you know someone like that, run as fast as you can. It's not always to say that they are doing it intentionally because some people were taught that way. You know what I'm saying? And so they have been pruned to feel that way or to operate that way. But and they have to grow out of it. But some people have been taught that way and it's set in stone. They can never be retaught. One of those people, you gotta kind of like avoid. And if you can't help them, get away from it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. But you know what? I got a wild question.
What's
it's
up?
totally off subject. Have y'all seen that there is a flaming hot
Mountain
Mountain
Dew?
Dew?
Yeah, I seen that shit. Boy,
They
motherfucker
really are trying to
nasty
kill
as
us.
hell, boy. What the
I
fuck?
really feel like that's
I wish a
were
motherfucker
trying to
would drink
kill
that shit around
us.
me. I'll smack the shit out their ass.
and I know somebody who literally went and bought a case. I was just like, what are
A
we doing here,
case?
sir? A case, y'all. I'm not
Sick
lying.
bastard.
What are you doing? You don't like your kidneys? You don't
You heard me.
you don't like your
Watch
bladder?
like your
somebody give a
taste
review
buds,
on it,
man?
though. It said
Shit
that they
trifling
don't,
as hell, man.
It said that it's not
Obviously can't
spicy
taste it.
though.
But
Well,
still,
from
like,
what
just
I'm
to even
hearing.
have it on there. I saw a couple years ago when they came out with the flaming hot macaroni and cheese. I was like, what are we doing here?
Okay, that's pretty. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool.
You had it?
No, I'm just
Okay.
saying.
Exactly.
I'm the type of nigga I put hot sauce on everything.
I'm
I
not
do
even
too,
gonna
but
join in on
really
this
is,
conversation because I eat all type of hot Cheetos.
I
like
do.
the
I
extra
eat
hot, all
hot
that
stuff,
shit.
but
so
like, I don't want it. I don't want
Yeah, some
So-
shit you just want to be like,
this.
I
Is that
tried if a motherfucker ever offered, but I ain't gonna buy it. You know,
Exactly. I'm not
the
spending- I'm not
macaroni was one of them
investing.
things. You know what I'm saying?
you buying a case? You are investing in that foolishness.
No, facts. You couldn't wait for that shit.
You
was-
could have waited.
You was writing letters. You know what y'all should do, bro?
Put it on your watch. Put it
Flaming
on your
hot Mountain
phone.
Dew with it.
He set up the timer when it was gonna be released out to the shelves and everything. Like, ain't no way. I'm sorry, y'all. This, but you know, that's another thing. We get on trends. Our
No,
community,
facts. It's a lot of shit that's
is-
trendy
yeah,
as fuck,
and-
bro.
society as a whole is failing because of that. Because we go on trends. In all these years, we have never had it where the news was reporting, but they go off your Instagram names. Like, what the heck? And they go off your followers when they're reporting on you, or when you're involved in a report. What does that have to do with the relevancy of the story?
I'm gonna say this, right? Like, if something in America is hella popular, my nigga, it's probably the wrong shit.
It's definitely the wrong.
Probably the wrong shit for you to be fucking with.
Mm-hmm.
And that go for a lot of shit.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like
people don't like that though.
like peaceful protests. Stop that shit. Stop doing that shit.
I was just gonna say it don't even sound good together though.
Listen, I'm gonna say
Peaceful
this.
protest.
Just
I
stop-
really don't
stop
think
doing
there
it.
is a such thing as either at this point, you know, because no matter what you consider as peaceful or non-peaceful, erratic, or whatever the case is, we've had it all, and here we are trying to think of another way to protest, you know. But what we said about the clothing, the designers, the big designers, and all of that stuff. While we're talking about protesting police and protesting this and protest, what are y'all doing? Y'all still wearing the stuff that y'all wearing? You know what I'm saying? Like, you still going and buying it. You got people that literally only put us in their campaigns to make us buy it.
This nigga.
I know somebody right now that spent over 30 grand on some clothes and some purses and some shoes, but it's like these people hate us. Like, they literally, there are some brand, and I'm not talking about all big brands, but some of these big brand designers, they hate us. They hate, and they may not even like all white people. They may be completely racist, inner racist and outer racist, but they hate us.
We all know a motherfucker that got a Gucci tattoo.
I know some people that got Louis tattoo. I'm still trying to figure out where you get that from. Who told you to do
Motherfuckers is
that?
retarded. Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to say that.
So when
I'm
you
sorry.
get that tattoo,
We
does
don't
that
use that
make
word.
you
My
designer?
bad, I'm sorry.
I don't know, but you know, like
Shit
it
don't.
really grinds my gears. Like, and I don't get me wrong, I love nice things, but I'm gonna tell you this: you either gonna buy stock in it, or you're gonna spend your money on it.
Talk about it.
And the smartest thing to do is make somebody pay you for something that they want to use you for.
Spend their money.
Yeah, you spend their money, pay yourself. But we're not thinking like that. We're going out and we're buying all this stuff. Furthermore, if you're gonna buy this stuff, make sure you can afford to put insurance on all your stuff. That's
And make
name
sure you
brand.
look good in it.
And make sure you
Hey,
look,
some of y'all
and make
motherfuckers
sure
buying
you
shit
not,
that make me
and
look
make sure
good in it.
you're not splashing yourself with this expensive perfume and cologne, and not bathe them before you do that. Okay,
I say because
if you
we
have
still
the
smell that
ability,
funk up on you, baby. You ain't
if
hiding.
you have the ability, and I ain't even trying to be funny, but if you have the ability to prevent the clashing of the titans, please do that. Please do that. And I'm gonna tell you this: as a mother that was nursing all the time, and I was really busy, there was some days I had to skip showering. And guess what? Sis stay at home with that baby.
I was finna say you ain't
And
gotta tell me
I
because
bird
I feel
bathed
you.
it
I
up.
know.
So I get it, but y'all, come on, like, let's do better.
You know what I hate? When you can smell a motherfucker breath and they mouth closed.
Listen, or you could smell it and they left the room like an hour ago. That is totally off subject.
Shout
But
out
while
to
you,
Bondi. Yeah, keep your motherfucking mouth closed. Fuck
He's
playing
so
with me, dog.
you so childish.
Hot breath ass.
Let me tell y'all this. Before you go and buy some designer, any more designer, go see your local orthodontist and your dentist to see how much your dental work will be. If they tell you your dental work is more than 15 grand, you are investing in the wrong thing. You are taking time out for the wrong stuff. I'm going to tell y'all, true story, I have all of my wisdom teeth. I have to get them all taken out because I had an accident where it was a hole in my jaw. So
That's
they
what happened
are
to my shit.
literally
Yeah,
taking
that's
up
what
too
happened to my
much
shit.
space. So they have to take this out and replace it too, right? That mean I got to get braces. So guess what? You think I'm finna be out here buying- My stuff costs almost $9,000.
I better not see your ass in no Gucci. No, I'm just playing.
Nothing new. If I got it, that mean I took care of it
Hey,
and
look,
it's been in my closet.
Don't get all of it done at the same time. though.
Oh, definitely.
I made that
and
mistake.
I'm doing payments. Okay.
I got all 4 of my shit pulled in the same day, and couldn't get the motherfucking medicine that they prescribed me.
Yeah.
Cause the pharmacy had closed on me, and since I went to one, since I had already tried to put mine in at one, they was like, just come back and it should be ready. They closed when the time they told me to come back.
No.
So since they had my shit, I tried to go to another one. They was like, well, you already filled it
I'm
out
saying
here,
you
so
can't
we
do
can.
that.
Yeah.
Ooh, you was hurting.
I know you were.
He was hurting.
And that's the
I
other
cried
thing.
for 24 hours straight, bro. That was the most excruciating pain I'd have never been in. Cause you like, and then all that motherfucking blood and shit, bro.
You pray in a different
That
language.
mean that you should have got it done
Did you pray in a
earlier in the
different
day.
language?
Bro, I cried,
You should
bro.
have prayed in a different
I
language.
legit cried,
Your
bro.
heavenly language.
I cried, dog.
Look, they told me that they tried to get me like this. So they told me what I needed, y'all. And I had my son with me. Y'all know he has autism. So of course you're obviously one would assume if you're telling me I need this now, I cannot get it now because I have my child with me, right?
Right.
Oh, they're like, oh yeah, it's gonna be 8 something. And mind you, it came to 8 something with my braces. And so I'm like,
That ain't
oh,
bad.
okay, cool. And they were like, okay, so you ready to get started?
Like, how the fuck I'm gonna
First
drive
of
home
all,
with this baby?
Number one. Number two
Boy,
is who
COVID
you
had everybody
think I-
fucked up. What everybody trying to get their money
Like, I'm just
back?
like, oh,
Like,
actually,
for real.
Here it is. Take this card.
Exactly.
She already
I
got
was
the
like,
register open. She like, cash.
sir,
Credit.
I appreciate you being
Would that
thorough.
be cash or would that be credit?
Oh, listen, it'll be a loan.
Yeah.
Period. Loan me this dental work, okay? So because I was just like, are you serious? You thinking I'm gonna stay here
She said,
today?
right now, yeah, no, we got
Right
bills.
this very
Said the
moment,
doctor
okay.
is ready now.
We got bills in this motherfucker.
It's like,
They like
first of all, I
cut
came
off.
for something else. I came for a cleaning because I was a new patient.
Upsell.
Oh God, they always.
Oops.
And I got,
Time.
yeah, and I got like a discount because I was a new patient and all this stuff, and I was paying out of pocket. And then they were like, "Oh, and don't get me wrong, I did have dental insurance at first, but things happen. I don't have it right now." They were like, "Oh yeah, you could come and get all your stuff done, blah blah blah," just to tell me, "Oh yeah, you'll be." I didn't even get no cleaning that day. I cleaned my own teeth.
Yeah, you know what?
I'm just gonna go ahead and head
You
on
got
out
it,
the
fam.
door. I
You
got
got
my
it.
bill. That's good enough. That's it.
Facts.
Like, but I'm just saying.
And you
and
can
it-
learn anything off YouTube nowadays,
Yeah.
bro. So shit, you can
No,
be your own
let
damn
me tell y'all
dentist, my
how
nigga.
But
I've
look-
seen like on Facebook them posting like hoodoo braces. What the
I've
fuck?
Hey,
seen
that's
it.
weak.
I've seen
I'm
it.
weak as fuck.
I even
What are
seen
you talking
somebody
about?
say dental implants. Somebody said, "Oh, y'all know somebody with dental implants," and they were like, "Oh, I know somebody
I know
black
a
that do dental
homegirl
implants."
that, like, a bitch in the basement is not finna play in my mouth. What are you talking
At
about?
all. I barely want y'all to play in my hair.
Okay,
That's why I do hair.
stop playing.
No, absolutely not. And if you
Who do
can't,
braces?
look,
I swear to God, if I can pull up this post, y'all.
I got a couple of them. I'm pretty sure, and I saved my post.
It was in Jungle Hustle. Let me see.
So if y'all be putting some crazy irrational stuff out there, trust and believe it's in my saved post log. I saved
Hey,
all
that's
of
like asking, hey, y'all know somebody that do X-rays?
Right.
Y'all know a motherfucker do cast, fix legs and shit. But what the
Legit.
fuck, bro?
Somebody that could put braces on my legs, cause for real, I need some screws put in. Like, what are we doing here? That's the other thing. If you cannot see
Hey, I'm weak as fuck.
without squinting, and you are black or you Hispanic, if you are anybody who is considerably what they call a minority, and you around here getting new everything, but you squinting all the time, take your butt to the doctor immediately. Go get your freaking eyes checked.
Tia.
Get your
Motherfucking
eyes
glasses.
checked immediately.
I'm
it's
sitting
not
here
that
squinting at
expensive.
y'all the whole time, though my glasses right in the car.
Right, you
I
got
I
your
ain't got my
glasses.
contacts in right now or nothing. I'm just like,
But like, come on, man, invest in yourself, better yourself. You talking about people getting BBLs and all this other type of stuff. You need to go get your underarms taken care of, okay? Like, we are focusing on the wrong. Listen, as a singer, they used to tell me, people will not trust you and the music that you're selling if they don't look at you and see that you're presentable. And that's the truth. That's low. I ain't trying to be funny, y'all. I'm not trying to be offensive. But if I can't see something in you because you're keeping yourself up and you have the ability to do so, I cannot trust you. Because why are you looking like that? You can invest in yourself, especially if you got on Gucci belts, Gucci shoes. The guy was trying to pick me up in a Maserati one day at the gas station. Now, mind you, he waited till I pumped the gas, everything, just for him to be like, "Oh, you finally came out the gas." First of all, sir.
I'm weak as fuck.
First of all, I could see through those black
Gas
tints.
high. What you talking about?
Right.
Yeah,
Right, but
you
look.
gonna wait till you finish pumping this shit.
But look, you did all this talking just to be like, oh, and pop out the Maserati like that was gonna be like, oh,
Hopped out the
dude,
Mozzie.
you probably got a leased car. Like
Hopped out the
that
Mozzie.
makes no difference to me. And
Well, that's
then
a
you
Remy.
get out, but your teeth. Just in case I run into this dude ever again.
he got exponents in his mouth. What are you talking about?
Listen,
Get on my
invest.
face.
Your car costs 20 times the amount that your teeth would cost to get fixed. You could get your teeth replaced with the amount that you paying for a
Nigga, you
Maserati.
could buy a whole new mouth.
And a whole new mouth. And you know how long it took or how much money it took for you to register that car, the insurance on that car? You could be paying dental insurance for both of us at this point because you wanna flirt so bad.
And
You
if
got
you
some
live
dental
in
insurance.
St. Louis, nigga, you gonna have to replace them tires about 4-5 times.
At
man.
least, and that's like a month or two.
Nah.
But like
Shit.
we focus on so much that is defeating the point. Buy you a book. If you don't know how to read and you're over 30, teach yourself how to read. And that's like no tea, no shade. But if you don't know how to read, find a way to read something.
On me. I heard somebody
Listen
read
to
to
a
you.
Yeah, or listen to a ebook.
Audiobook and
Listen to an
stuff,
audiobook,
yeah.
an ebook, because these things we think like, oh, it's small, but the stuff literally piles up. The small things pile up before the bigger things do.
It's like I say, man, whatever you don't consciously maintain, you subconsciously destroy.
And it'll overtake you. You'll
Right.
end up being overtaken by the same thing. It would literally fight against you. It's
The
fighting
subconscious
against.
is the shadow.
Yeah,
It will,
and
it will
it's
consume your
crazy.
ass. You will be consumed in darkness, bro.
Definitely. And you got people that's, it's crazy. Like you buying a BMW, but
I thought you was finna say BBL again. I was finna stop. Can't wait for that.
listen about these BBLs.
Them is my
okay?
favorite. That's my favorite abbreviation.
About these BBL, right? Because BBL did not mean that back in the day. Okay, BMW didn't even mean what it means now. Like it don't even mean a car no more. They talking about
Brazilian butt lift.
breasts, midriffs, and what is it? Breast midriffs and something else. Like, what are we doing here, people? Come on, like people say all the time, "Oh, you're smaller. You can say that because you feel like." No, I feel like this. People used to always scrutinize us for our hips and our butts and our big lips, okay? It was, oh, you're overweight because you got a big butt.
True.
oh, you shape weird, or your lips make you look crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You got black women that are getting lip implants. Like,
me.
what is happening, man?
Lizzo not even fat.
High
Technically.
key, I do not like her. Okay, but I can say that I respect a lot of things that
As big as she is, you can't call her fat.
Nah, she get on my nerves too because
Yeah, she high key
I
get on my nerves.
respect the fact that you're confident, but baby, you be doing too much.
And
She
it's and you know
always doing
what?
too
When
much
you
for me.
overplay something, that means that's the thing that you
Insecure
are
about it.
struggling with.
Yeah.
She that
And
clown
so,
right now.
You claiming that you're confident, but really it's just showing that the lack thereof. I'll say, but like all of this other stuff, I done seen people. Now, don't get me wrong, I'll pay for a haircut.
You look like what you want.
You look like what you want, number one. And you have to represent what you want to become or what you think you are, you know. So a man think it, that shall he be. So if I think I said it in my own words,
I
but
ain't
it
heard
say
what
so
you
if a
said.
man think it, so a man think is that,
Oh,
that
okay,
you
yeah.
know. So if I think I'm
The shit.
period, if I think I'm a great business owner, if I think, you know, I'm a philanthropist,
As a
if
man
whatever
thinketh in
I
his
think
heart,
I am, you should display
so is
that
he.
daily. You know what I'm saying? And then not only that, it'll teach you how to treat people better. Even when they feel like you are not worth being considered, they'll have to second guess that because they'll be like, "Dang,
Whatever you don't consciously maintain, you gotta care. You gotta care enough about yourself.
definitely,
You gotta love yourself enough.
Definitely.
You gotta take care of yourself.
yeah." And
She
it's
wasn't.
not always about
Lizzo didn't consciously maintain her self. Never mind.
Yeah,
I'ma stay off her
I'll
ass,
say it.
bro. Go ahead.
So now we are now we are where we are with her,
You know what I'm
you know.
saying?
But
Big ass.
and when I knew it was coming, I tried to over talk you so nobody could hear your thoughts, but they became your words. But that goes back to the show I missed when we talked about why do we feel it's appropriate for everybody to see everything? Why do we feel it's appropriate for everybody to do everything that we you know, or know everything that we do? When I went to the club, and mind you, I was going to the club young, so like nowadays you can't find me at a club. I'm
I
sorry.
was finna say I partied when I was
I
young,
partied,
for
got it
sure.
over with. Listen, my mom was like, do what you kick it, okay? Just don't come home with nothing. Don't be out here sleeping around. Have your fun and be safe. And mind you, it was a lot of times that safeness caused some fights and stuff like that. But we weren't, you didn't see nobody coochie in the doggone club. Like, we didn't do all of that. And even if you did see a little skin here and there, you didn't see people bare naked lips in the club.
Hey,
You
you
didn't
want-
see people bare naked nipples in the club because it's like, okay, if you could see it there, then why do I need to value the fact that you even got that?
You wanna know what I don't understand, bro, about the club? Or about just pretty much just anywhere, my nigga. Like, the one thing I don't understand about twerking is like, don't get me wrong, do I enjoy a good twerk? Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I think we all do at this point.
But
honestly.
like the girls that trip me out the most be the
Oh my
girls.
god, I ain't finna say this all over again. I'm
What?
not finna say this.
No, 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 no,
I
no, no,
missed
no, no,
it,
no,
so
no,
go ahead
no,
and
no,
say-
no. I'm finna say something totally different. The girls who get on all fours, like the girls who like to climb on the
that's
hood
something
of the
for
car.
a bedroom, not for
You know what I'm
public.
saying? I like to climb on top of the car, get on all fours, go crazy. Yeah, or they be in the club on the floor.
Literally.
Like, bitch, like, do you know what the fuck? Bitch, you
Or
finna
they
get on
be
this
humping
dirty
on
ass
they be
ground,
humping
bro.
on each other on the floor too.
Yeah,
You know, and
bitches is
it's
weird,
beyond me.
right? Like a whole bunch of like ants crawling in this
Yeah,
motherfucker.
and it's crazy because I'm like, now people always want to go back to back in the day they were wilding out, but listen here,
Get up, hands and knees.
you know how
dirty,
they
dirty,
found
yeah.
out that they needed to chill out back in the day. All the STD rises, all these illegitimate pregnancies and all that stuff, and it did calm them down in a major way. And a lot of people
But
that
now
were
motherfuckers don't
exposing
care.
exactly, and a lot of people that were exposing people because it's a crime to expose someone to a STD without their knowledge. That is called premeditated murder. And so you got a lot of people that back in the day that calmed them down in a major way. A lot of their celebrities died back in the day from AIDS, so that calmed them
Except
down in a
Magic
major
Johnson.
way. Now you got let Magic Johnson be great. He is healed, delivered, and set free. Okay.
Right on, Magic.
But nowadays people are like, oh, if I get AIDS, I'm gonna live forever anyway. So what's the point? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? What are we doing here?
They gave motherfuckers the freedom to
don't
be out
even-
here birdbacking.
Listen,
All right.
Listen, it was people dying
Go
from
ahead,
COVID
G.
quicker than they was dying from anything else. So it's just really weird to me that we haven't noticed the importance of the subtlety. Like just subtle. Just be subtle, you know? Meekness, you know, things of that nature. Why are we feeling like
What happened to humility and self-respect?
what happened?
Yeah, I
What
see what
happened
you're
to,
saying. I see exactly what you're saying.
I even noticed when they used to do videos, you would have, somebody gave me the example of, they said to look at the WAP video. Mind you, I wasn't a big fan of WAP, and I love Cardi B.
I
Always
don't
have.
like neither one of them. I love Cardi B.
I
used
do
to.
not. I do
used
not
to.
like
I don't
Meg
fuck
Thee
with her no
Stallion.
more, bruh.
I don't like Meg Thee Stallion. I have a legitimate reason why.
What is it? Tell me.
Cause she a dude.
First of all, I always used to think that, but
Nah, I'm just playing.
I don't think she is now. Quite frankly, I really don't care.
I only like that
But
one
I'll
song.
say the reason why I do not like her is because, number one, we recently found out
She
that
a
there
liar.
was glass in
Yeah,
her foot
she a
and not a
fucking liar.
bullet.
Yeah, very
trying
much
to ruin
so.
this black man life.
That's number one. Number two is it's a lot of her ways.
Lousy bitch.
She knew, well, he said it. I ain't disagreeing, but he did say it. It's a lot of her ways. She knew she had an influence, and like they said, she Uncle
And
Tom.
look at the way that she
a
used it.
legit female Uncle Tom to me, and that doesn't mean it doesn't mean we want her to be racist. What that means is you a brown nose to get anywhere. You'll do whatever it takes to get anywhere.
And that's just a girl who grew up lacking love. She was starved of that one thing that all
Because a
children
lot of people
need,
probably
bruh.
thought she was a boy all her life.
You know what I'm saying?
Like they thought Sierra was. But Sierra's somebody to admire nowadays.
The
So
moral of the story, bro. Fathers, mothers, love y'all children.
love them.
You are only gonna be as happy as your saddest child.
And never make them feel like they're obligated to do for you at all. Because they are not. We are obligated to be their parents. But I'm going to say this, and I want us to really think about it, meditate on it, marinate, regurgitate it, feed it to somebody else. When it comes I love how she putting that purse up there like that.
Because that was my.
'Cause it's the Michael Kors
What did I
purse.
buy that for? I think that's my Mother's Day gift to myself. It's so cute.
I love it.
It's so cute.
Is it
I
real?
agree. Yeah, it's
Sweetheart,
real.
I
It
have
was a
ins- I
Mother's
have-
Day gift.
What did you say? I have insurance on that purse. Don't play.
As
with
you
me.
should. Don't get nothing you can't get insurance on.
Can't even fit your phone in that little ass purse. No, I just play.
But I'm gonna say, what you feed your soul, what you feed your mind, not only your body, but what you feed your mind, conversations, music, whatever the case is, it penetrates your soul. So we got to think about the music that they are allowing to be played. What they're investing in. They invest in most of the rappers that talk about killing each other than anybody else. They invest in most of the rappers that talk about selling drugs and how many times they've been in jail more than anybody else. The reason why is because there is a subconscious and subliminal way of selling that's the way that you become a person that somebody needs to call legitimate.
I
I'm
almost
not
told
legitimate
on
because of
myself.
that.
Whoa.
I would never listen. And I used to get but and music has so much to do with a lot of things. One of the things I'm going to say about this shooting, I'm going to revert back to the shooting and say that when he went into one of the classrooms, he turned on melancholy music. Anybody know in movies when you know
Yeah, when that come on,
When you
it's
hear
like,
that,
that's it.
That's it.
That's either the end of the movie because nobody's gonna make it to the end. You know what I'm saying? Or they're gonna do some
It's the
real
climax,
damage.
you
You
know what
know,
I'm
that's the
saying?
climax where somebody is gonna they're gonna meet their demise. And so when we talk about what we like and the music we like and the artists we like, man, come on, you gotta really think about, do they meditate? It's a lot of people that seance over their music. It's a lot of music that are seances and we play them. a couple years, 2011, 2012, they had this whole trend where they would play all the music backwards and in slow motion,
Yep.
so you can hear everything that was being said that we didn't know was being said. In the Bible, David played for Saul, or Saul played for David? Which one of them played for the other? They played to soothe his spirit because he was demon possessed, and the music was
Saul.
anointed. Yeah,
Saul.
played the devil out of him.
Yeah.
So if you could play the devil out of somebody, think how many things you could play into them. It's called spiritual STDs. You transmitting. We talk about soul ties and different things. You transmit so
Spiritually
much
transmitted disease.
spiritually through music. It's certain things out. Now listen, a lot of people don't like Christian rap. I listen to Christian rap that'll have you turning down a whole bunch of other stuff. They put some of these rappers under the pew, and I know you may be looking crazy because you like, yeah, that's corny, but
Lecrae, no, just like
I ain't even talking about him because Lecrae, I love him.
Lecrae hard.
He
Lecrae
hard,
hard
but
as fuck.
I love Andy Mineo. I can name some Christian rappers that'll put some of these rappers under a building.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna never listen to no Christian rapper. I can't do it.
I was just
You
say,
get with me, you
well,
gonna listen to it.
I'm like,
And you would never
Send
know
me a
it was
song, and
until
I
you'll be
might.
like, dang, they ain't cussing.
Well,
That's the
I
only thing that'll get you.
I only listen to the same 3 rappers. So whenever I get in somebody's car, I be like, hey, you mind if I play my shit?
And I'll be like, absolutely.
As soon as they say
not.
no, oh, AirPods. Put it in
And
this
people
so
be
they can't
sleeping
see
on
me.
people sleep on it so hard, but I'm gonna tell you something. It's a lot of Christian rappers that
Like, this
they
nigga
are
got
dope.
bored.
They dope. They shoot up the vein dope. But like a lot
Damn.
of people sleep on them. And I'm telling you, cause you can catch me any day of the week. And I'd rather blast that sometimes than my worship music. So that tell you a lot. And I'm a true worshiper. Like I would sit down, pray, I'll meditate, all of that. But I will listen to my Christian rap,
Had you hyped up.
Listen, people be like trying to
Got
turn it
them
off because they be
demons
thinking it's
lined up
something else,
fighting
but it
them,
ain't, But like, people gotta really start to think. What are they feeding you? What are they? I was in. My son gets sometimes like the transportation, the medical transportation, taking him to some of his appointments. So we driving, and the dude was like, "Yeah, all I want to do is gang bang and do drugs, sell drugs." And he said it, but it started slowing down in the rap, and I'm like, "You turn this crap off!" Like, and it was so loud, but the speaker was right next to him. Mind you, he has sensory issues. So I'm like, it's loud. They're chanting in the song, and you're turning it up, which is feeding your spirit faster than anything else. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta really sit back and say, what are they telling us? Why are these rappers so famous? Why your deal so big? When you just got out, but you making millions of dollars and it's your first song, and it ain't even hit the stream. It ain't even streamed yet. So why is it doing so much? Because they like what you selling.
Facts.
You are literally killing us. You are the demise of your people when you feed us stuff that is not good for our souls.
Facts.
And don't go for these rappers that say they love God and they believe in God. Number one, because they be saying it because it's something popular most of the time. They don't believe in none of that. Thus, we have people that come out later and be like, I sold my soul and all that stuff. How you sell your soul but you believe in something totally different? It makes no sense. You a contradiction. Like, we gotta be careful. We really gotta be careful.
facts.
Your mind is a powerful thing. It really is. You can listen to somebody tell you beautiful every day and be ugly as a doggone goat.
Lizzo.
Literally ugly as homemade sin.
Lizzo.
But if you hear that every day, it'll start to feed your soul. Like, I am beautiful. I need to behave like I'm beautiful. My soul should permeate like it's beautiful. You won't be as ugly as you look. You know what I'm saying? But
A pretty soul
we
don't
are.
make you pretty though.
But what I'm saying is it'll make you behave as such. You know?
So,
Some of us is just as ugly as we
Any
act.
last things I want to leave everybody with before we get up out of here, man?
Guard your heart and protect your soul.
Powerful. Guard your heart.
What you got,
Protect
sis?
your soul.
Well, I like her
That's a good
shirt,
one.
too.
Period. Shout out to my good sis, Kyra. She is the owner of Hustler's Love. So I think
like
y'all
that.
should go ahead and shop with her. She is black owned and she's cheap and she's great. She also makes facial products and skincare products. So go check her out. You know, I don't know her link by heart, but yeah.
We gonna get it for
Yeah,
him.
yeah, definitely.
And shout out to
Gotta
my
go
barber
shop
because
with
people
her.
been trying to get at my barber. Shout out to my barber. If y'all don't follow him on Instagram, his name is John with the Jingles on Instagram and J Bird on. What
Her
is it? J Bird
skincare-
Jefferson.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Her skincare line is glowwithkishae.com. That is glowwithkishae.com. Shop with her.
Shout out to our entrepreneurs and
Most definitely.
our philanthropists.
Yeah. Like me.
Shout out to you. Shout out to you, Mike.
Yeah.
Shout out to
I'm
you.
outside, man, changing lives one nigga at a time. You hear me?
As you should.
One brother at a time, okay?
Yeah, man, I'm saying
One brother at a time.
brother at a time.
And
man.
listen, I'm gonna say this, and I'm finna blow your mind, but I want to be
What's up?
petty a little
Go
bit.
ahead.
More than black people can be niggas.
No, most definitely. No, facts. Facts.
And listen, when you reference yourself, if you are a man, if you earn the right to be a man, meaning like you're not buying it, but you are a man, you represent yourself as a man, you are a godly man,
Ooh, she sleep.
you are a man, okay?
She
I ain't date
sleep.
nobody that calls himself no nigga, okay? Just like
I'm that nigga.
I ain't gonna be like I'm that.
But what
I'm
if you is that nigga, bro? Like, I'm
you're
that
not
nigga. You feel me?
You're that man.
Like,
You're that
I'm
guy.
I
You're
mean,
that guy.
I appreciate that. But
You're
I'm
that guy.
nigga. You feel
Anyway.
me?
It
I'm
start with a
that
G because
nigga, man.
God start with a G. But anyways,
I'm that nigga.
Girl, don't feed this little. Don't feed his ego any more than.
I think our
already.
last statement should be hard to get. Knowledge is hard to get. Spiritual knowledge is hard to get, but harder to forget.
I got one thing I want
Period.
to say. To quote the great Kanye West.
I thought you was gonna say Michael.
You can live through anything if magic made it.
This nigga said Kanye West.
You can live through anything if magic made it.
And I love Kanye West, but you really reaching right now.
You can live through anything if magic made it. Just gonna leave it at that.
For sure.
Yeah, I just play, man. I'm just playing. Well, no.
Shout out to our co-hosts that weren't able to make
Oh
it.
yeah, for sure.
And shout
for
out
sure.
to our future co-host that
Yeah,
will
shout
be
out to my
here.
boy.
Shout out to
Yes.
him. We
Welcome
can't wait
home,
till he
nigga.
come. Ah man, this is gonna be. Y'all think we
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, boy, shit finna be live. The vision is about to be actualized.
Yes. Take some
Trust
time
me.
to hug your family
Trust
members and pray. Like take some time to invest in prayer and get you a
we
prayer
finna be
life.
straight. Boom, boom, boom.
And
boom,
drink
boom.
y'all
Yeah.
water.
Yeah.
'Cause
And drink y'all water and
them
mind
coochies
y'all
be tart
business.
because y'all don't drink water.
You say what?
They
Them
cookies
coochies
be tight.
be
Oh
tart.
boy,
because
hey,
they
yes.
don't
That has
drink
been
water.
Throne Talk, Black Revival. And soaking that tub sometimes.
Soaking
Yes.
it and rinse off in the shower.
Hey, where we
after.
done, we
Nah,
done, we
it's
done,
the
we
fact that
done,
they
we
be talking
done,
about
we
some-
done,
the
we
coochie just
done.
needs water,
done.
and that's why you smell like that.
We done, y'all.
Just need water. Bitch, you done worked the 16-hour shift and you just gonna go throw some water on that little cat? Don't play with me.
No.